Welcome to Coach's Corner Cap fans. Thanks for joining me on this Tuesday afternoon. Yesterday, I was subbing over at the high school, and I had to go right up till 3 o'clock, so that's why we are going today. Today, we're going to review last week's game with Covington, preview Springfield, South Vienna, Northeastern. I got lots of names to them. Our support staff is going to be about our chain gang and one particular guy on that chain gang. I'll get to that later. I'm going to talk a little bit about props to Bryce Cusho, our kicker, and then we're going to watch a little film again. I'm going to show you all some of the different tools that we have to help us what we call breakdowns, break down other teams or break down our own video and things like that. So you might find that interesting. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Mason Ayers, who ran in the state cross country championship, and he got 20th place, which the top 20 become all state guys. So he makes the Ring of Honor over at the high school. And also our volleyball team are in the Final Four. They're still undefeated, which is awesome. They're going to play Independence. And then the other game is Tenor, and I'm not sure who the other team is. But so hopefully we will make that finals on Saturday. Friday night, the girls are playing at 5. Unfortunately, our games they really won't, the game itself won't overlap, but the travel will maybe mess that up a little bit. But the girls are they started their game earlier at 5, and then our game is at 7:30 this week, so we backed our game up. So there's a little an extra hour window there for people going that want to see both games live. So good luck to the volleyball girls. They beat Anna last week in the regional finals. So review of Covington last week. Covington has a relatively new young coach, and he has a bunch of young guys, like I mentioned last week, and they know what they're doing. Just don't quite have the horses yet, being a really young team. And so we played well, we played efficient, which we hoped we could do, bouncing back after the disappointing Marion game. So we played efficient. Our young guys got in the second quarter, and then basically the second half was all our young guys against their varsity, but young guys. So it was kind of like a JV game, I guess, in the second half for our guys. So it was a good night for us. The score ended up 58-0, I think, but I think we had 40. I think we broke a school record with 40, 45, something like that in the first half. So good night for us. Stayed healthy. Will Berry did not play, at a shoulder injury, but he'll be back this week. And Drew Frank is going to get a cast on his thumb this week, so hopefully he'll be back either this week or next week. Braylon Dawson finally has got to play a bunch last week, and he had a really bad ankle injury, and so he's finally back, so that's good on the D-line, and hopefully Noah Welsh will come back pretty soon there. So that's the Covington review. Springfield Northeastern, which is actually in a little town called South Vienna, preview. That's who we play this week. We have a little bit of history. I think we played them once in 2002 in the playoffs, and so they came here and we won that game. They are presently 7-4. They won last week against Miami Valley Christian Academy 41-0. So they definitely have some weapons. They do have several guys that 2-3 guys, the quarterback included, who run the ball. Really three main guys and a little bit of a receiver who gets some carries, and then 2 or 3 receivers that make some catches. So they're kind of a spread team, kind of like us, I guess. And then on defense, they're a 4-3 team. We have not seen many blitzes, so it reminds me of a defense that Fort Recovery plays, where they have 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. And from what we've seen on three films, they're pretty basic, I guess, and they're 4-3. And so the good thing is, you kind of know where they're going to be. I guess for them, they play that all the time, so they get lots and lots of reps of what they do, and so that's what we're going to see against the Jets. Their nickname is the Jets. So again, they're coming into town on Friday night, and again, game time is 7:30. So support staff. I'm going to talk about the chain gang, and so there's five guys: Tony Stammen, Joe Overman, Steve Worms, Aaron Worms, who is Steve's son, and Joe Weigel. So Joe, Tony, Joe Overman, and Steve Worms are all about late 60s guys, getting close to 70, I think, and they've been doing it a long time, and really great guys. Joe is on his 49th. Joe Weigel is on his 49th year and final year, so he's gonna hang it up. Joe's a really good guy. He works at the park now after he retired, and so he just has fun there. But the four older guys there, just the random little story. When I got out of high school, they were playing softball for Layfeld Implement, and so they kind of took me and Rod Hoyne, one of my really good friends, and we started playing with them, and it was a lot of fun. Of course, they were in their mid-20s, low 20s, and Rod and I were just out of high school and a few years in college where we kept playing. So they really took care of us, and we had lots of fun with those guys. So congrats, Joe, and thanks for all those years of helping us out, and Tony and Joe and Steve and Aaron for just taking care of that duty, I guess, and getting to listen to all the different coaches and different teams on the sideline. That's probably a pretty good experience. So thank you guys. So I'm going to have one props this week. I had been doing the scout team, and I did do the special teams a while back, but I'm going to go with Bryce Couchot, who is not a scout team guy. He's our kicker, and probably will also be our punter next year. So he works on that. And the reason I'm bringing him out is because the work that he's put in throughout this year and all summer, and he went to a couple camps last spring and in the summer, and he's doing a really good job. He's 6 for 6 on field goals this year. I'm not sure the exact number. I'm going to throw out like 50 out of 52 extra points, something like that. So he's only missed 2, and like I said, those 6 for 6 on those field goals. He was second team all league. He and Marion's kicker are the two best kickers in the league, really probably by far. But what I'm impressed with Bryce is that throughout the year, during practice, he does play some other positions in JVs, but mainly he's become our main kicker. And so during practice, he'll go off by himself. We'll take a couple managers and work on all the different types of kickoffs and field goals, different angles, different distances, and all that stuff. And then he'll go punt, but he's just taking that role on, and he understands. Like last week, we did not let him play much at all, any defense or offense, because he's so valuable that we don't want to take a risk on at this point of the season on getting him hurt. So kudos to Bryce. Good job, Bryce, and good thing is we got him back next year, so he'll be our kicker and punter. So the game is is Friday night, or just another reminder, at 7:30 this week instead of 7. So we're going to look at a little film here now. So I'm going to pause here for a second to get set up. All right, Cap fans, here we go. So we're going to do a little film study, and what I want to show you is all the different things that we can do with our film, with filtering things out for what you want to see. And back in the day, it was so much more time consuming, where now we can do so much. So as you look as you're looking at the screen here, I can do lots of different things here. So on the right, as you see here, there's some icons here. Share, if we want to send a film. So we just send our film to other schools, basically sort of like an email. And so we have all of our games here. And so when you click on a game, I'll just pick Minster here for a second. So these are some games that we have of Minster, and then we have all the opponents, and those get erased after a while, but well, here it is right here. So if I click on that, well, those are gone. So those disappear after a certain amount of time. But there's our Coldwater game versus Minster. Okay, and so I can pick any game. And so Covington, for example, let's go to Covington. Well, let's go to, since we're playing Northeastern this week, if I were to click on them, these are the games that we have on Northeastern. So I could pick any of those games and I can watch any of those games. But we're going to just kind of look at the Covington game. There's all kinds of things. If I want to watch it full screen, I can just click this, and then I can go play by play. I can skip plays. I can do all kinds of things there. So that's that. Okay, this little dial right here, okay, this will say I want to watch the wide copy, which you're seeing right here. Okay, and then the end zone copy, I can watch one or I can watch both. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So those are some things there. So somehow we tag these things, and I'm not great at it, but Mark Bruns and Dan Kenny and Joe Hewitt are really good at it. And really all the other coaches are probably better than me. So when we watch, I just using my mouse or my arrows on my keyboard, and so I can go forward and back. I can go fast forward. I can go slow motion. Right? I can go slow motion, as you're seeing there. Okay, and then the next play will be the end zone. Will be the end zone view. So each play is tagged, what we call tagged. Okay, I'll pause right there. Up in the corner here, or over here, each play is tagged, and it's also up here. And so each play is tagged, and you get the sideline view, like I showed you. I can back up. There's the sideline view of our kickoff. Okay, and he kicked it in the end zone, and then we can go to the end zone view. Okay, so I'm gonna move ahead here. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it real quick. I can pause so I can kind of look, okay, what formation? So there would be all kinds of things that we would do throughout the week. And so, we'd say, hey, this is a wing right here, a tight end wing, and all that gets put into all this information. So right here, play number, ODK right here is what I'm showing you. That means offense, defensive, kicking. If I just want to watch the kicking and go real fast, okay, I'll click on Analyze. Well, let's see, I kind of messed that up there. Let's go back here, Analyze. And all I want to see is all the kicking game. So I can go kicking, so all these are kicking. And over here, it would say it's a kickoff, it's a punt return, an extra point, kickoff, and so on and so on and so on. So when I break down film and all I want to see is chart their kicking game, I can do that. Okay, I can take that off easy. I can go O, or I can go D, or I can go, let's see here. Okay, I messed it up. What did I do right there? Okay, here we go. So we're back to normal. So I can analyze that. If I wanted to watch only certain downs, I could analyze that. If I wanted to just watch certain plays of the offense or defense, so I tag. So I went back and I wrote all our offensive plays in here as the game went on. If I wanted to just see certain plays, all I wanted to see was anything that was a 26. So if I clicked on all these, it would just show me those 4 or 5 plays back to back to back to back. So these are all the different plays that we have. Okay, and so those are some things that lots and lots of things that we can do, and then those can all be calculated. Those can be filtered, and so for example here versus Covington last week. Let's see here, opponent scout. So all of a sudden now we can print these out and it'll tell you what were their favorite plays, what was their favorite formations, where did the plays go? Do they go left? Do they go right? Do they go to the wide side of the field, to the boundary, and so on? And so there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can do to figure out what the other team's doing, what we're doing good, what we're doing not so good. And so it's quite an operation that we get into, and it's kind of fun because you can get through things and analyze things really, really quickly. So again, like I said, I can make this bigger. So when I'm watching games, again, I can go fast. There's the end zone. So we would watch that play and we can stop it. And like I showed you the other week, I can draw on it, right? I can say, okay, you're supposed to be in this gap, and Cody, you're supposed to be in this gap, and Owen, you got this gap, and so on, whatever it might be. Okay, and then I can undo those. I could actually write something on here if I wanted to. Sometimes we'll have fun, like we make a long touchdown. We'll say, there it is, right there, touchdown, way to go, or whatever, and why it was a good play, something like that. So we can have some fun with it. You can put bubbles. You can do all kinds of things. So again, there's the next play from the side view, from the press box, and then that same play is up close and in person, and we do that. So for them, they would be watching their O-lineman, and we're watching our defense from up close and in person. So that's how we watch film, and that's how we trade in other words, we share, like during the playoffs, you share 3 games with the other team. So we'll make contact with them and we'll say we want these 3 games, and they'll tell us, and so we send them those films, and then we go through this process of this information gets plugged in, and that's how it kind of works. So that'll give you a little idea of kind of how we can really watch film and learn some things about ourselves and your opponents. So next week I'll maybe do another version, do some defensive stuff from the end zone camera, just to give you an idea of what we would say to our defensive guys. So the game again is 7:30 Friday night versus Springfield Northeastern.